When people say the hustle and grind and the Gary Vee style things, and what they tend to do is they wake up earlier, so they're like lobbing off that early morning hours. That's when you're cutting off that REM time, that internal therapist time. So that can be really problematic in the long run.
Why do we dream? Like, what is going on with dreams? What are the theories behind, what is the purpose? It seems like it's hard to understand why evolution has given us dreams. So I'd just be interested to hear, if there are any interesting theories you've heard out there as to the purpose or explanation behind dreams.
Yeah, good question. Actually, we're going to be doing a whole series going a bit deeper on dreams in particular, going into the new year. So we'll have even some more insights on that topic soon. But as of right now, to your point, there are a lot of questions as to kind of the why. But the theories, some of the theories are that it's really helping us to kind of work out things that have happened throughout the course of our day, or things that are on our mind, and then helping to organize what makes sense to kind of hold on to, and kind of commit to memory, and then what makes sense to kind of let go of. And so this kind of organization, but it seems to be really, when we talk about dreams from the REM state, there can be almost a dreaming component that happens in other stages, which is interesting too. So even sometimes those night terrors can be occurring in, non-REM stages, which is often surprising for people. But with that, we can understand that with dreams, we seem to almost think of it, or when we think of REM, we think of it almost as an inner therapist period of your night. So if you are dealing with, and that can often be the cruel joke, that if you are really stressed and things are really gnawing at you, sometimes those early morning wake-ups tend to be what happens. And then unfortunately, that tends to be when you are transitioning into a more higher ratio of REM. So when we're cutting into that can make it just the snowball effect of, now you didn't have that sort of inner therapist session that kind of happens when you're going through that REM, to work things out, to kind of play with some of these different possibilities and kind of stretch the imagination. But there's, that suspending of muscle movement during the REM state. And so we're almost able to seemingly safely act out different things that we might not be able to do, in the daytime. So when that is devoid, that can be really problematic to, those are the times when we might just, kind of be short fused, or we're not able to handle the same stressors in the way that we might if we were properly getting that sleep that we require. So it is a really important time to cultivate. And also that goes into, for when people say the hustle and grind and, the Gary Vee style things, and what they tend to do is they wake up earlier. So they're like lobbing off that early morning hours. That's when you're cutting off that REM time, that internal therapist time. So that can be really problematic in the long run. And the flip side is important too. If then you say, well, that's not me. What I do is I just cut into my evening and keep going, pushing my bedtime out. Well, that's cutting into your deep sleep opportunity time, because the body does try to keep us somewhat on time with those sleep scheduling. So there's really no free lunch when you cut either one of those sides off.
Yeah, it is so interesting. Like, the body is always trying to achieve this homeostasis, and
yes,
you can't be clever and get around the body's mechanism. You can for a short time, but it'll always come around.
Yes. And believe me, I've tried every way. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.